Energy is the engine of modern civilization, powering homes, industries, and transportation. For the United States, energy security is a cornerstone of economic strength and national security. From coal in the Industrial Revolution to oil in the 20th century, America's rise has always depended on harnessing energy. Today, access to affordable, reliable energy gives nations a global edge, fueling industry, military power, and economic growth. When energy is cheap, economies thrive. When it's scarce, instability follows. The U.S. now faces a pivotal moment, transitioning from fossil fuels to a more diverse, electrified future. The choices made today about resources, infrastructure, and alliances will shape America's prosperity and influence for generations. Balancing energy security with environmental responsibility is the defining challenge of our era. This is the central drama of the 21st century energy story. The 20th century was the age of oil, fueling wars, economies, and America's global dominance. As Middle Eastern oil fields rose in importance, OPEC formed to control supply and prices, shaking the world economy. The oil shocks of the 1970s exposed America's vulnerability and led to the creation of the petrodollar system. In this deal, OPEC nations priced oil in U.S. dollars, while America provided military protection, cementing the dollar as the world's reserve currency. This arrangement fueled U.S. economic power as global demand for dollars soared and foreign nations reinvested in U.S. assets. The petrodollar system linked global energy markets to America's financial system, giving Washington immense leverage. But it also made the U.S. economy sensitive to oil price swings and Middle Eastern instability. The crises of the 1970s drove home the need for energy independence. This set the stage for a technological revolution that would later challenge the foundations of the petrodollar era. America's quest for energy security became a national priority. The world's thirst for oil and dollars reshaped global power. For years, America's energy story was one of decline, until the shale revolution. New technologies like fracking unlocked vast oil and gas reserves, transforming the U.S. into a top global producer. This boom created jobs, revitalized communities, and gave American industries a competitive edge with cheap energy. Suddenly, energy independence was within reach. On the world stage, U.S. oil and gas exports weakened OPEC's grip and blunted Russia's energy influence. America's energy abundance brought renewed diplomatic power and economic stability at home. The shale revolution proved the power of innovation to rewrite the energy map. It gave the U.S. a powerful new tool in the 21st century. Energy prices ripple through the entire economy, affecting everything from food to transportation. When energy costs rise, so does inflation, squeezing consumers and businesses alike. The Federal Reserve often responds by raising interest rates, making borrowing more expensive to cool inflation. This can slow investment, dampen housing, and even trigger recession. The oil shocks of the 1970s and recent price surges show how energy and monetary policy are deeply connected. For Americans, higher energy prices mean costlier commutes, utilities, and groceries, while higher interest rates raise loan payments. This double squeeze impacts every household and business. Global energy politics and domestic policy shape daily life in powerful ways. The push to address climate change is driving a historic energy transition. Renewables like solar and wind and electric vehicles promise cleaner air but require vast amounts of critical minerals. Control over these minerals, often concentrated in a few countries, creates new dependencies and geopolitical challenges. Securing supply chains for lithium, cobalt, and rare earths is now a national security priority. The U.S. must modernize its grid and balance ambitious climate goals with economic realities. Nuclear power and advanced technologies may play key roles alongside renewables and natural gas. Navigating this transition is both a challenge and an opportunity for American leadership. The future of U.S. energy security depends on smart choices today. As America pushes for an energy transformation, new challenges emerge alongside each new technology and policy. First, our national electric grid is aging and often overloaded, not designed to move massive amounts of electricity coast to coast. Upgrading the grid isn't just about adding capacity, but about building smarter, more resilient infrastructure that can keep up with changing demand, prevent blackouts, and make renewable energy truly viable. Add to that the growing weight of electric vehicles due to large battery packs. These EVs can be 2 to 4 times heavier than ordinary cars, raising serious concerns about our country's aging bridges and roads, many of which are already due for critical upgrades just to support current traffic. Comprehensive investment in transportation infrastructure will be essential for a true EV revolution. Meanwhile, while wind power is often promoted as a clean solution, the reality offshore is more complicated. Both the construction and operation of wind turbines have been linked to negative impacts on marine life, especially due to the sonar-like frequencies they emit. In short, whales lose their natural navigation and get beached and die. Before the wind energy push, there would be 2 whales beached every 10 years. Now in windmill farms, it has been reported to have 14 beached what is one season. Furthermore, the seafood and fishing industries have also been severely impacted too. This unintended consequence is a reminder that every energy source comes with its trade-offs. On the positive side, many experts now believe the safest, cleanest path forward could be new generation nuclear energy, specifically modular nuclear reactors, MCRs. These reactors are designed for safety, efficiency, and low-waste operation, offering the scale and reliability that intermittent renewables cannot. Clean nuclear could well be the key to America's long-term energy security. Recent energy policy has also come under scrutiny. The prior Biden-Harris administration released large amounts from the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve to temporarily lower gas prices before elections, a controversial move that critics argued undermined the reserve's intended role as a national security asset and left the stockpile at historic lows. Now it falls to the current administration to restore the reserve and protect national resilience. Finally, there's the truth about fracking. Hydraulic fracturing involves 2 well types. The source wells are drilled deep, often at 8,000 feet, for extracting oil and gas, and the disposal wells are for injecting wastewater back underground. With proper regulation, the disposal wells are deeper than the source wells. When the Obama EPA regulated fracking, restrictions focused only on source wells. Many companies then drilled disposal wells much closer to the surface, sometimes risking contact with water tables. It's also important to clear up a famous myth. A video of a tap water fire was staged upstate NY in a region with no fracking, and the methane was the result of naturally occurring methane from a local private well, not from oil and gas fracking activity. In modern America, most drinking water comes through municipal supplies that filter out such contaminants, ensuring safety from methane. In short, every energy technology and policy must be weighed honestly, balancing innovation, environmental care, security, and public health. Only with this full perspective can sound choices power America's future. Understanding these complex realities will help America lead in energy, wisely, safely, and for the benefit of generations to come.